Howdy friends, Bexno back again, breaking down one of my favorite runewords in the entire game of Diablo 2, that being the Spirit runeword, or the Tal Fel Ort Amn, in a 4-socketed shield or sword. So why exactly is this one of the basically most sought after runewords in the early, mid, and even late game for certain casters? So first of all, the Tal Fel and Ort and Amn runes are all relatively easy runes to find. You can farm most of them, if not all of them, at normal Countess, so you should be able to find these pretty early on in the game. And basis for it, if you're using a Paladin shield, you'll be able to basically try and roll for 4 sockets pretty easily. But if you find a Crystal Sword, a Broadsword in the Cow level normal, you'd be able to roll it with the Larzerk socket, or you'd be able to cube for a chance to roll the sockets. You'd be able to cube it for an automatic, easy 4 sockets right out of the gate, which is a pretty common thing that a lot of people do as they finish basically normal difficulty. So you finish normal difficulty, you make a Cow level, you find a Crystal Sword, and then you use the Larzerk quest to get those 4 sockets on there to make your first spirit. So let's dive in and really look at why exactly this is so incredible. So right out of the gate, +2 to all skills. That is going to be very sought after as you transition into the late game. I know the base value for points you can put into skills is going to be 20, but as you start adding these plus to skills, that also will then apply to synergies and really kind of scale your damage over time. A lot of the late game is really geared towards finding things that will give +1 skills, specifically like Grand Charms and stuff like that, torches, that sort of thing. So out of the gate, +2 to skills is absolutely incredible. I think this is actually the only way you can get +2 skills in a shield. I could be wrong, let me know. I think a lot of the elite items or set items is generally +1 to all skills. So if you dual wield these, or if you have a shield and a sword, out of the gate getting +4 to all skills between the two is going to be really, really awesome for you, and it's going to push your character pretty far. So next we have 25 to 35% faster cast rate. I posted a video on why faster cast rate is important and kind of how you utilize it, but again, if you max these out and you roll, let's say, 235 to faster cast rates, that is 70, adding 70 to your faster cast rate overall just in 2 items, which is really incredible. This is going to help you nudge over in your breakpoints, and typically these are going to be used by caster characters like I don't know why Singer Barb keeps coming to my mind because it's a barbarian build, but it is technically a caster. But if you have something like a cold sorceress or a lightning sorceress or a Hammerdin, any of the kind of the greatest hits, if you will, or a bone necromancer, having that faster cast rate could nudge you into the next breakpoint and dramatically increase the quality of life and overall damage output over time that your character is going to be able to do. Next, we see 250 defense versus missiles, so this is going to be anything ranged coming at you. That's just going to be nice, especially if you are a caster build. You are going to want to be away from the thick of things, especially if you're doing something like a hardcore character. Anything that you can protect yourself against enemies that are not right next to you is really going to help out. Next, we have 22 to Vitality, that little boost to life. In the later game, a lot of builds that you see out there online and that a lot of people run, Vitality is probably the most important late game attribute that you're going to be dumping points into. So getting your health to be as high as it can is going to be extremely important. Next we have +89 to 112 to mana. So if you max this out, and again you have 2 of these, that is going to be a +224 to mana, which will really, really increase the quality of life. If you pair this with something, especially like I did another video, the last runeword I broke down, was the Insight runeword. The mana rate recovery will be great. Paired with these 2, you are going to be an unstoppable force in essentially 3 weapons. And next we have +3 to 8 magic absorb. So this is going to be trying to think how I want to word this. This will take a portion of magic damage and it will basically just mitigate how much damage magic will be doing to you. So matching that out is certainly not going to hurt your character, especially this is paired with the defense with missiles. Long range stuff or ranged attacks like arrows and spells are just going to do anytime you can lower the amount of damage that's going to be dealt to you in those skills or against those types of enemies is going to be awesome to have. So specifically for the sword, because we do get the effects from each of the Tal, Fel, Ort, and Amn runes, you are going to get +75 poison damage over 5 seconds added to a sword, which I've talked about this before, but poison damage is really great, especially if you're running like a Zealer character. This is going to be awesome. I don't know why you would really run a Zealer with something like a Spirit, unless it was in maybe like a Phase Blade or phase blade, some late end game thing. But poison damage is always great. The effect over time will prevent enemies from being able to heal. So if you deal damage to like a boss, as long as they're poisoned, they will not be able to regenerate their health. It's same as like open wounds. So as if they're bleeding or something like that, they will not be able to as effectively regenerate their own health. Adds 3 to 14 cold damage. 3-second duration. This is just pretty standard, just adding cold damage. Adds 1 to 50 lightning damage. Again, nothing too crazy there. Plus 7% life stolen per hit. That will be really cool. Again, pairing this with the poison damage if you are using something like a Zealer or a Pit Zerker or any of the above. Anytime you have life leech is going to be pretty cool if you're going to be dealing physical damage. Always good to have. And then for the shields, it's essentially just going to be all resistances, which in the late game, as you get those penalties, so it's going to be, I think in Hell you have a minus 100 to all resistances as just a base penalty. So anywhere you can stack some additional resistances is going to be awesome. And then attacker takes damage of 14. That's not going to be too crazy, but hey, 14 damage is 14 damage. So overall, between all of these things, from being able to relatively easily gear this item and get bases for it, roll for the sockets, and then to find the runes, this is kind of a no-brainer. This is going to be something you want to get early on in the game. It's going to help you transition through normal, nightmare, parts of Hell. I have a Singer Barb. I think that's why I keep bringing it up, actually. I have a Singer Barb that is dual wielding these for the +4 to all skills, and I believe I haven't maxed them out, but they're near perfect. I think it's giving me around 72 faster cast rate, which is pretty awesome. I'm not complaining at all. But you're going to want to be able to maximize these, and it'll help in the later game. So let me know what you guys think about this rune word. How do you guys use it if you're not doing it just for like generic leveling? Are there other rune words? I know this is something that is often replaced by like battle orders, call to arms and stuff like that. If you know a better way of trying to find the spirit bases, I'm always open to new suggestions, and I'm sure other people watching the video would really appreciate it. If you like these rune word breakdowns, let me know down below. If there's any other rune words you'd like for me to break down, I really just love getting into this game and the different mechanics and how things work. So I'm always excited to get some new suggestions and feedback. If you're liking my videos in general, if you want to like this video, that would go a long way, or if you want to subscribe, that would just be awesome. I've been really enjoying making content for this game, and it's been really cool getting to know people and interacting with fellow like-minded Diablo fans. So I'm going to end this video here. Like I said, let me know down below, and I will see you guys on the next one.